And it came to pass in the 11th year, in the 3rd month, in the 1st day of the month, that the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak unto Pharaoh king of Egypt, and to his multitude, Whom art thou like in thy greatness? Behold, the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon, with fair branches, and with a shadowing shroud, and of an high stature, and his top was among the thick boughs. The waters made him great. The deep set him up on high, with her rivers running round about his plants, and sent out her little rivers unto all the trees of the field. Therefore his height was exalted above all the trees of the field, and his boughs were multiplied, and his branches became long, because of the multitude of waters, when he shot forth. All the fowls of heaven made their nests in his boughs, and under his branches did all the beasts of the field bring forth their young, and under his shadow dwelt all great nations. Thus was he fair in his greatness, in the length of his branches, for his root was by great waters. The cedars in the garden of God could not hide him. The fir trees were not like his boughs, and the chestnut trees were not like his branches, nor any tree in the garden of God was like unto him in his beauty. I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden that were in the garden of God envied him. Therefore thus saith the Lord God, Because thou hast lifted up thyself in height, and he hath shot up his top among the thick boughs, and his heart is lifted up in his height, I have therefore delivered him into the hand of the mighty one of the heathen. He shall surely deal with him. I have driven him out for his wickedness. And strangers, the terrible of the nations, have cut him off and have left him. Upon the mountains and in all the valleys his branches are fallen, and his boughs are broken by all the rivers of the land, and all the people of the earth are gone down from his shadow and have left him. Upon his ruin shall all the fowls of the heaven remain, and all the beasts of the field shall be upon his branches, to the end that none of all the trees by the waters exalt themselves for their height, neither shoot up their top among the thick boughs, neither their trees stand up in their height, all that drink water. For they are all delivered unto death, to the nether parts of the earth, in the midst of the children of men, with them that go down to the pit. Thus saith the Lord God, In the day when he went down to the grave, I caused a mourning. I covered the deep for him, and I restrained the floods thereof, and the great waters were stayed. And I caused Lebanon to mourn for him, and all the trees of the field fainted for him. I made the nations to shake at the sound of his fall, when I cast him down to hell with them that descend into the pit. And all the trees of Eden, the choice and best of Lebanon, all that drink water, shall be comforted in the nether parts of the earth. They also went down into hell with him, unto them that be slain with the sword, and they that were his arm, that dwelt under his shadow in the midst of the heathen. To whom art thou thus like in glory and in greatness among the trees of Eden? Yet shalt thou be brought down with the trees of Eden unto the nether parts of the earth. Thou shalt lie in the midst of the uncircumcised, with them that be slain by the sword. This is Pharaoh and all his multitude, saith the Lord God. And strangers, the terrible of the nations, have cut him off and have left him. Upon the mountains and in all the valleys his branches are fallen, and his boughs are broken by all the rivers of the land, and all the people of the earth are gone down from his shadow and have left him.
Someone's on the prowl, trying to take us down, but we ain't giving up now. A liar and a thief coming after you and me, but we ain't giving up now. The harder the wind will blow, the deeper our roots will go, and the devil is gonna hang. Oh, the devil is gonna hang. Oh, the devil is gonna hang from his own and the flames they surround. Oh, we ain't giving up now. Even though we may tread through the valley of death, oh, we ain't giving up now. The harder the wind will blow, the deeper our roots will go, and the devil is gonna hang. The devil is gonna hang. Oh, the devil is gonna hang from his own gallows. Hey, hey. Stumbling in the dark, run your hands against the walls, find every window and every door, throw them open, and in will flood a blinding light, and it will chase away the night. Even if you shield your eyes, let it pour in, let it pour in. If you're stumbling in the dark, run your hands against the walls, find every window and every door, throw them open, it will flood a blinding light, and it will chase away the night. Even if you shield your eyes, let it pour in, let it pour in, let it pour in. The harder the wind will blow, the deeper our roots will go, and the devil is gonna hang. Oh, the devil is gonna hang. Oh, the devil is gonna hang from his own gallows.
The cedars in the garden of God could not hide him. The fir trees were not like his boughs, and the chestnut trees were not like his branches, nor any tree in the garden of God was like unto him in his beauty. I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden that were in the garden of God envied him.
Baby, you understand me now. If sometimes you see that I'm mad, don't you know no one alive can always be an angel? When everything goes wrong, you see some bad. But I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. You know, sometimes, baby, I'm so carefree, with a joy that's hard to hide. And then sometimes again it seems that all I have is worry. And then you're bound to see my other side. But I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. If I seem edgy, I want you to know I never mean to take it out on you. Life has its problems, and I get more than my share. But that's one thing I never mean to do, 'cause I love you. Oh, baby, I'm just human. Don't you know I have faults like anyone? Sometimes I find myself alone, regretting some little foolish thing, some simple thing that I've done. 'Cause I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. Don't let me be misunderstood. I try so hard, so please don't let me be.
Okay, I'm going to add this to the end of the video, but I always talk about and tell you how the characteristics of the cedar, how they twist and turn. This piece back here, it's still attached like a spire to the part of the main tree. I'll go over there a little closer, but I want to show you that. Okay. Come right here. If you look at it, this whole piece right here is curving. That's still attached, like part of a broken off stump. You see over here some small, jagged spires, all part of the tree. See the way that all curves up? It went up like this, just like I say on the characteristics of the cedar. It is truly amazing, and you'll see a lot of that up around the monument, all in the Black Hills, the large spires, all the broken down rings, and the way they have eroded down. You come over here, it's just remnants of the cedar. We'll take a little walk right down here. Okay, and then I'll end this. This is all part of the cedar. What's up, man? Maybe over here you can see the curvature a little bit better. See the way that curves up? Towered into the sky. So much is missing. I'll go down here real quick and I'll just bring it to an end. Maybe see it better right here. And these are just parts of rings. If you see right here, this front facing one, that was part of a ring, and then the next one, it's just pieces and parts. You see here. And then back behind this one is another one. These are all broken off. All right, thank you for watching. Okay, let me flip this around. So I got something pretty special for you today. I hope you stick around for it. I think you'll enjoy it. So let me turn this around and we'll get going. So we're at the Manitou Springs, Manitou cliff dwellings. So I'm going to show you a bunch of things here, and I'm going to show you that this is all cedar. All that in the background is all cedar, all them mountains, okay? You're going to enjoy this. These are the cliff dwellings here, okay? So I really hope you stick around for this. So if you don't understand what cedar looks like, you can Google cedar wood. It's always got the pinkish, orangish, reddish, and this is on literally a biblical scale. A lot of this stuff is weathered and worn, okay? And when I get up over here, I'll be able to show you other things, but we're gonna walk this whole thing. We're gonna go in the gift shop. It's gonna kind of blow your mind. But this is all cedar. The same as, you'll see this all around the world. Just some places here in Colorado, it's Red Rocks, Eldorado Springs, the Flatirons in Boulder, the Garden of the Gods in Colorado Springs, and all like-kind places. Okay? So you're gonna see a lot of cool stuff here, okay? We're gonna do the full round. All that up there is cedar. All that up there is cedar. These cliff dwellings are not authentic. They say they are, but they say they brought them from another place and built them here. But it's just a tourist attraction. And we are at 6530 altitude. You can pause to read if you want. Okay. Cedar is very distinctive. And like I say, if you read Ezekiel 31, you'll understand that it's literal and not a metaphor. This is all cedar. And as we go like down into the gift shop, that is cedar. So if you stick around, you'll see some incredible stuff. So cedar is a lot like juniper, but they're not the same, but similar in their characteristics. You can pause to read if you care to. So there's cedar right here. It's kind of hard to see. Sorry, bud. That is cedar. I'll show you another piece in a little while. All these bricks are cedar. This is all cedar.
I think he's the best.
So I'll show you a lot more of the cedar as we go, but I just wanted to show you these so people who haven't seen them get a free tour. This is all cedar. I know I keep saying that, but you'll understand a lot more when we get onto the balcony of the gift shop that's down here. We'll go on up here. This is the family structure. Got one more to go look at, and then we'll head on down to the meat and potatoes. Oh, we were just in here, I think, or they're a lot alike. Well, shit. Let's go up top. Might as well. It's probably just the same.
Hello.
You're gonna be famous, bud. This is a famous YouTube video. What are you gonna do?
Come down this ladder.
That's it? You can't do nothing, no better dance than that?
Filming for a YouTube channel.
There you go, bro. You'll be famous. How are you?
Go in, it's cool.
Yeah, oh, it's nice and cool in there.
Yeah. It's crazy how cool it is.
Yep. Okay, here we go. So, if you go all back in there, all the way up to Woodland Park from Manitou Springs, it's all the same. It's so prominent in some areas. Okay, we just got to go down here by the teepee, and I'll show you some incredible things. But like I say, this is not like actually authentic.
Come on. We already went over there.
It's, to me, it's like a replica of Mesa Verde. If you go up in them hills there, it's the same thing as this. Same thing as Garden of the Gods, El Dorado Springs, Red Rocks, the Flatirons in Boulder, Garden of the Gods. It's all just pieces and parts. all of it. All right. We're gonna head down here. We can go in the teepee real quick. Oh. Okay. Like I said, look at Cedar. The color bands in Cedar. But on a scale that's not even, you can't even imagine. It doesn't even seem real, but it is. So this piece right here is not petrified. But I've done some videos before and showing you pieces of actual cedar like this that are petrified. But this is actual cedar. It's the same thing you're seeing. And it's got the pinkish, reddish, same exact, same thing. Everything you're seeing here is the same as this piece of cedar wood that's not petrified. Everything you've seen and showing, like the stuff I show in South Dakota, is the same thing, but it's discolored from the lichen and the moss. Okay, there's a lot of places in here, and I think you'll enjoy a lot of Native American stuff. Okay, I'll kind of show you around before we get out on the balconies. A lot of tourist stuff. I bought 3 shirts here. Got one for my wife and my daughter and myself. It's actually upstairs, I'll show you. See, this is all cedar. This gift shop's built into the cedar. It's all cedar. That's kind of cool, a little replica of the replica. We'll go down here and take a look before we get out on the upper balcony. You see here, this is all cedar. Just the grain of the tree. That's all it is. Same thing up at the monument at Mount Rushmore. If you've ever been up there, you can drive around it, in front of it, beside it. It's all the same, exactly the same. You can pause to read if you'd like. Let's see. Oh, it's not working. Let's go up here. I want to show you the cedar real quick. Look at cedar wood, but on a massive scale. And this is worldwide. It's not just the places I've mentioned. It's not just in South Dakota. And when you read Ezekiel 31, you'll see it's not a metaphor where he's comparing the Assyrian to the King Pharaoh and his greatness. I'll get you some shots of that if you want to pause and read. That's if you care to read, that's all.
Nowhere inside. No.
Okay, here we go. I want to show you something here. Oops. Let's see here. So this is quartz. It's part of the tree, part of the sap. You'll see it's just quartz. That's all it is. This is what they call fool's gold. Iron pyrite. You see right here, it's part of the tree. Right where my thumb is. A lot of this is difficult to understand for a lot of people because you just got to see so many things and to understand and put it together. The trees were special then. Completely different today with the silicone base. How you doing? We'll walk in here before we go outside. Native Americans. I want to show you these cups. It's all part of the tree. Agate. That's what they call it, but what it really is and comes from is totally different. None of this stuff right here I don't think is authentic. Yeah, it's all just the authentic stuff's locked up. Fool's gold. Oh, genuine gold. $10.
I do like it, but I'm sure there's more.
You got copper bracelet. Copper came from the tree. Here's the shirt I got my daughter and my wife. Right here. I got myself a hat. It's this color but with the brim. Anyway, you can see here, we'll go outside here. This is all cedars, worn and weathered. All right, here, let's go outside. Okay. So out here, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it. So as far as the eye can see, it's all the same as this here. Here is all part of the cedar. And if you go down there and look really close, it's hard to explain to people because they've been brainwashed by the educational system. But when most people think about tree rings, they think about looking down at a stump. But tree rings break down and erode in so many different ways. But if you look at a lot of the buttes, so to speak, in Arizona, you'll notice when the tree comes out of the ground, as it enters the ground, everything becomes horizontal. It's just the way the tree does. So you'll see out there, if you look at a different angle, you'll see it's all part of the rings. And you can go as far back as you want. It just looks like mountains and trees and grass. But when you get up close to it like this, it's the same thing. There's Pikes Peak back here. You can't see the peak of it, it's around the corner. But you see all that, it's all the same. And it goes on and on and on. That, folks, is all cedar. Some people will call it sandstone or whatever they want. So I did a video on Angel's Landing in Utah. You'll see that was all one tree, massive. Angel's Landing was a cedar tree. Okay, I still got some more to show you if you care to keep watching, but and these, you know, these cedar tree parts break down in so many different ways. They'll still break down into them little pieces that I always show and talk about. As far as I can see, it's the same exact thing, all of this. And you can still see when you look back in there some of the upright structure that's not fallen. That's part of the original structure of the trees. Tree or trees, you know, it's just too hard to comprehend. Oops. So there's a few other areas we'll check out. Oh, I'm going to show you the turtle that I bought. So this will be a little bit longer if you care to see it. All of this comes from a tree, every single bit of it. Even this right here. So I have Mike from Stellium 7 with me, and when he leaves and I get a few things taken care of, I'm going to do a long video like I'm doing now of a lot of my recent stuff that I've acquired, so to speak, we'll say it that way. And I'll show you all the tree remains. Let me show you something else. So this here is not authentic. It's electroplated. All this stuff is cut and polished. Let me show you this piece right here. This right here, the black stuff you see is wood. They call it tourmaline, but it's wood, and that's something I'll show in the video I'm going to do that I just told you about. But that is all wood. Okay? Sorry, man. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Same with that as wood.
That's not wood.
Well, that's what they tell you, but this wasn't originally wood.
That tourmaline
Yes.
grows in?
Yes.
Where are you from?
I'm from here.
Oh.
Hey, if you go to YouTube
Uh-huh.
and look at Hangman 1128,
Uh-huh.
check the channel out. It'll blow your mind. You know what all this is?
Rock.
It's cedar. Hey, listen. Read Ezekiel 31.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Just read it.
Okay.
And open your mind a little bit. Ezekiel 31.
Gotcha.
And then come back and look at this. Get on YouTube and look at cedar wood.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And look at it with new eyes.
Okay.
But Ezekiel 31 and Hangman 1128. Might be hard to believe, but it's self-evident. There's another one. I think I'm crazy. This is all wood. It's just the color bands of the cedar. All right, there's a couple more places out here we'll go, and then I want to show you the turtle I bought. So I bought a turtle similar to this, but you'll see how cool my turtle is compared to this one. This was kind of just plain, but see the grains of the wood? Okay, and you'll see the same thing with marble when it's cut. It's all part of the root system. I could show it to you, but I can't understand it for you. If you watch a lot of my videos, you understand, regardless of how crazy it sounds. Marble is the same thing. Granite, it's all part of the root system. You got to look at it with new eyes. Thank you, sir. Oh, sorry, sir. I don't know if we've been in here or not. So for those who just like to see the tour before we continue showing you a few things. And a lot of this stuff you got to take with a grain of salt. Because we all know history is one big fat lie. So you see this is cedar wood right here. It's just a small piece. You see the same in it. The darkish red, orangish, pinkish. I'll show you some more cedar here in a minute, but I figure some people might enjoy this. That looks like a rib bone, that bow. kinds of needles.
Did you see the line already? It's up there. You don't even see it? Oh.
Monday.
Look.
Wait, wait, come on. Hold on.
I'll go with them.
No, wait.
Okay. Here's that cedar wood again that's not petrified. You see, it's the same thing. The colors, the characteristics. Okay, we got to walk up this ramp. I'll show you this here and I'll end it.
For your sake? No. I told her I don't want it.
Actually, we'll walk down a little further. Might as well show it all to you. This is all cedar. And that's like that everywhere. You just got to get down and see it. Down here, I might be able to see it to show you. I want to show you the turtle. Okay? Hold on a minute. Hold on. Oh, well, I'm gonna, hold on a second. There's the hat I bought. I bought this too. That is sap. Look at that. Silica, pure silica. Let's open this up here. This, oh, hold on. Okay. I'm gonna set it down, hold on. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is the turtle here. Check it out. There's the bottom. That's all tree grain, all of it, not just the darker stuff. It's really cool. That's the turtle. All right, we're gonna leave that there and go for a little walk and show you a couple other things. We'll walk down to the end So, you know, for some this may be new news or old news, but I would bet the farm on it for a fact that everything on the periodic table is a direct property from the biblical trees from the Silicon era. You look at all the hard rock mining they do and all the different metals and minerals they get from it. It's all tree remains. It was not deposited. It's like, just to use a little logic, just like you would with all the other lies from this world. How would all these metals and minerals get deposited from where? Oh, they say it comes up from the core of the earth. Well, we know that that's an absolute lie. This place we're on is fixed and stationary. But you can see here, we'll go down and get another vantage point. Okay. There's some really incredible areas on Highway 24 going up from Colorado Springs through Manitou, up towards Woodland Park, all the way up through Deckers, and all the way up through Red Rocks, El Dorado Springs, the Flatirons. It's all of it, and all like-kind areas of this world. And you know, it also talks not just about Assyrian, but it talks about all the cedars that were in the Garden of God. When it says all the cedars in the Garden of God could not rival him, talking about Assyrian. Okay, it's literal, all of it. And the way they do all this hard rock mining, they're getting all the metals and minerals, elements that are in it. I've done videos on the volcanoes, obsidian, coal, oil, all of it. And they'll break down the same way. We get down here further, you'll see what I mean by, if you just Google like the buttes in Arizona, you'll see, and I got videos on it, you'll see once it enters the ground, it turns horizontal. It's all part of the tree. It goes on and on and on. So if we were further back, you wouldn't be able to see or distinguish all this. It would look just like that does over there. But you get up there, it's all the same thing. Some the same, some a little bit different. We're just gonna walk around this corner over here and then I'll end it. Show you a few things over there. All that back in there is the same thing. It's just like I say in South Dakota. It's worldwide. It's not just South Dakota, Colorado. It's everywhere. The cedars in the Garden of God. See, this is a piece of cedar right here. Okay. You don't see many of the color bands. Well, actually, there's some right there. Okay. Let me hold this here. That's cedar right here. It's got the pinkish orange. Let me see how well you can. Let me get down here where I can focus. It's cedar. It's all the same. Let me try to get over here. That big piece where the dwellings are, it's all just a ring of the cedar. That one large band right here, that's just one ring. But you got to understand, like, some of it's fallen, some of it's upright, part of the source tree. So it's really hard telling. This could be fell over and that's why it's vertical, or like I talk about when it goes, I mean, it's all horizontal, but when I talk about like the buttes and other places where the tree enters, the vertical tree enters the ground, the root system, so to speak, the rest of the tree becomes horizontal. If you Google it and look, you'll see. Yeah, I didn't know none of this stuff years ago. I've learned a lot about trees and their structures, and they're like fibers. We'll go right over here. Hey, it's all cedar. We'll go across the street. And there you go. Let's take a look at it. Exact same thing up behind at the monument, the Mount Rushmore. Some of it's recognizable, some of it's not. It's very prominent like this. Once you get to that parking lot where you could see George Washington's face, it's very prominent like this, all the way around the inside, the interior, the exterior. As you're going around the, I call it a shard, an upright section of the cedar tree that's still remaining. You'll see the same thing. The cedars of the Garden of God. And you'll see this was all wood at one time, and then it breaks down, and then it returns back to the earth, all of this, and then it'll become clay. You can make pottery out of it. There's a plaque down here. It's all weathered and worn. Water ran through here at one time. I'm going to walk over here. I want to show you this face over here. Oh, good. See that? It's all cedar. Watch when we get out here. See this? All of it. All of that. I walked out of the park. Hopefully they don't give me crap about going back in or walking out and in. You can go all the way over there, as far back as the eye can see. All the way over there, and it's like that all up and down this canyon. It's Highway 24, I believe, from Springs through Manitou Springs up to Woodland Park, Colorado. But all them mountains in the background are all the same thing. What I suggest, maybe, that Pikes Peak was the actual cedar tree, and these are remnants from it. and on and on. Hey, there's part of the cedar. There, and this where my thumb is the orangish red. And these are just the color bands. Okay, we're gonna head on in. I mean, there's so much more I could say and show you, but I got like 125 videos trying to show you guys the truth of not only biblical scripture of the trees, and it's right in your face all around this world. And you know, like when you get into like salt water and like cliffs, whether it's Scotland or Ireland or Switzerland, there's so much erosion and things that occur. A lot of it's not recognizable to most people, but it's all part of it. Read Ezekiel 31 100 times. You'll get something out of it each time. Remember, this stuff is weathered and worn. We're just gonna walk right over here and I'll put it to an end. But like I say, when you see marble and granite, it's all part of the root system on a massive scale. It's Ezekiel 31, it says that the trees went down to great waters. Well, the only great waters I can think of were the fountains of the great deep. The root system to anchor these trees had to have been enormous. All right, folks. Let me turn this around. Okay, so I just flipped my camera by hand, so I don't know if the camera's pointing at me or not, but I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new to the channel, I would suggest going back and watching more of my videos, because when I talk about the periodic table, it's a fact. So there's so many lies in this world, but remember, it was a different world back there. You watch Avatar 1, there's so much truth in it, like the tree of souls, and everything's connected, everything's alive through the energy. Asbestos was part of the tree. It's absolutely amazing, but I've been procrastinating with myself. But I have a lot of the content needed, not all of it, because I'm going to do an extensive video on the periodic table, the metals and minerals and elements, to show you that it all came from the tree. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace out. All right, let me turn this around real quick. So I got a special video for you, but I want to say a couple things first. I did a video called Cedar Heights. I'm in the process of uploading a video of the Manitou cliff dwellings, and this here is going to be another special video. I'm going to explain a few things, okay? So let me turn this around. So we're here at Garden of the Gods, okay? I'm going to show you a few things. So first, this may be a repeat for some people, but for the new subscribers, you got to read Ezekiel 31 20 times. Read it literally and understand it. Talks about Assyrian, the giant cedar, and the other cedars that were in the Garden of God couldn't rival him. Okay, that's literal. So I want to point something out here. So you see these right here, all these blocks. I'm showing you how the tree breaks down on so many different examples of how they have the flat edges and ledges. It happens on a massive scale and a smaller scale due to the fibers of the trees and the root systems, and they keep breaking down. There's a video on YouTube and TikTok going around of they got drone footage, they got footage standing there like me of these large massive square pieces like this, and they say it's a billion trillion years old, and it's a mystery of how it occurred. Well, it's really not. You got to understand that these trees, these massive trees, the root systems that had to have anchored these trees down to the ground, it says they went down to great waters. The only great waters I'm aware of are the fountains of the great deep. So the root system that had to anchor these trees to the ground would be unimaginable. So with that being said, let me just show you a few things as we go, okay? Remember, things have weathered and worn and so much weather erosion. Okay, we're gonna walk down to the bottom, but I'm gonna show you some things. So this is kind of a special video. Hopefully you watched the video before this one of the Manitou Springs cliff dwellings. Okay, and hopefully you understand how the trees break down and the water erosion. Okay, so I got a few cool things to show you. So you have to understand that the floodwaters came through here. Okay, all this was underwater, so it's my true belief. So you got Pikes Peak right here, that's the culprit. You can go as far back as you want. All these hills are the exact same thing that I showed you in my previous video of the cliff dwellings. And everything I'm showing you here, Angel's Landing in Utah, Garden of the Gods, Red Rocks, El Dorado Springs, the Flatirons in Boulder, Colorado, and all like kind in this world. It says the Syrian, the tree was destroyed. It fell upon all the hills, the lands, the valleys, and the beasts of the field walk upon its branches. All the deer, the lion, the bear, the antelope, the chipmunks, the squirrels, all of them. Okay, so I want you to look at something here. Water did this. And if you watch my last video, you'll understand the cedar. If you just Google cedar wood, the color, you'll see, and I'm going to show you here in a few, the color bands, but on a scale that's unimaginable. So when you see all this stuff undercut, all eroded under there, you'll see a lot of it. All this right here, that's from the floodwaters eroding away the softer part of the tree. Okay? This is Garden of the Gods in Colorado Springs, Colorado. We're gonna walk a distance and I'm gonna show you some things. So that video I did on Cedar Heights, that's the private road that goes back there. And I can't even, with armed security, I can't even imagine who lives back there. I haven't done the research. But as far up as you can go into them hills, all the way up to Pikes Peak and on westward, it's all the same. All of it. In my opinion, as crazy as it sounds, all these tips are like a broken off stump. I know that sounds crazy, but the biblical trees describe that. And it wasn't just one giant one like Assyrian. He talks about the cedars in the Garden of God couldn't rival him, meaning Assyrian. Okay, we're gonna step down over here and I'll show you a few things. And a lot of this stuff is part of the upright tree. Like over there, just remnants of it. Some of it's laid down. Okay, let me get down here. So when you see all this undercut stuff, all this erosion underneath, all from the floodwaters. That's how you get your flat edges. Okay? That's how you get your flat edges. That's how it breaks down. That's all the color bands in the cedar. And the trees are like fibers. And when you see this, that's not necessarily a bunch of different tree rings. You could have a tree ring that's feet thick and it'll do the same thing due to the fibers in that one ring. Let me step down here. This is cedar right here. That's not petrified, but that's cedar. Okay. You see the colors in it. Okay. I'll show you some bigger pieces as we go. You still have the same natural breaks with the flat edges. We get up here. All that erosion is from the floodwaters. All that erosion. And then you'll see gravel or cobblestone pounded into the side of it. Kind of like, let me get up here. Kind of like this. They'll call it sandstone. This is just from the floodwaters pounding into it and it breaking down. All that erosion is from the floodwaters. As I've said before, I've been in big river canyons where the water level is where it's at, large river canyons, and you hike up 200 yards and you'll see evidence of where the floodwaters used to be, 200, 300 yards up from where the river lies now. And you'll see cobblestone, the size of cars, all the way down to the small size cobblestone round, way up from the river. The only way that could have occurred is a time when the river was high. And these large rocks and pieces of stone were rolling down and created the cobblestone. It's the only thing that'll make a rock round is rolling in water or a tumbler. But all that is cut out from the floodwaters. And this goes on and on and on. It's just like I've shown you in the Black Hills of South Dakota. Look at this. That's from the floodwaters. There's old Mike right there. It's his last day here. But he's just absolutely floored. So we're gonna go right down here and I'll show you a few things. I've learned to walk downhill doing this instead of uphill because walking up these inclines really takes the wind out of a guy. So some may or may not understand the characteristics of a cedar tree, much like juniper. They're not the same, but they're very similar. A lot of people think they're the same kind of tree, but they're not. Although they are very similar. Let's go right down here and I'll show you a little bit, and then we're going to keep on walking all the way down. There's some pretty incredible stuff down there. So everything out here is the same thing. I've shown you the cedar in South Dakota. And here you'll see the color bands, the pinkish, orangish, red, but on a scale that's unimaginable. Same thing here. Okay. We'll go down to this one. You see? Oh. Well, that's not the first time. All right. Like I say, everything back there is the same as here. It's just so far away you can't see it. Okay. Who's that? That guy thinks he's cool. All right. Look at this cool piece. And it's so massive. And it's just literally teetering. Look at this. A little tiny base. It's like perfectly balanced. That one too. Eventually that's going to roll right down that hill. But all that cutout is from the floodwaters. Let me give you an overview here. Okay. We're going to go right down here. They call this balancing rock. We're going to walk down there. I'll show you some crazy stuff. And you know, some people don't get to see all this, so it's good for them to be able to see this. See here. I don't know how well the color shows up, but you'll see all the same color and characteristics of the cedar. And if you look, well, this ain't the best example. The cedar, they twist and turn and got such incredible characteristics. Like if you're driving down 385, the main road in South Dakota from like Custer all the way up to Hill City, all the way up to the monument, you'll see some of the upright remaining pieces of that cedar tree. And you'll see the curves and turns, how it towered up into the sky. You see here how it twists and turns. The characteristics are undeniable. Okay. Actually, I want to go over here, so gotta go right up here. Sorry, folks. This looks pretty slick. I cut down too soon. Look at the beautiful Colorado sky. It's beautiful. That section there in the back is just a small representation of the remnants. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, so my phone actually died because it's hot out here and it overheated. So we're going to continue right here. As I said, this is called Balancing Rock, Garden of the Gods of Colorado. Hopefully it don't cut out again. The sun went under a cloud. And we'll just walk around down here. So that water I told you, those floodwaters, that's what carved all these channels. Like I said, look at cedar wood on the internet. You're gonna be famous. The water did that. Okay, we'll walk around this here. Oh, you're good. I'll go around. Like I say, you can see back in there, the shards continue all the way up to Pikes Peak and back, and it's just pieces and parts. And then years ago, I was way over there, and it's incredible. But now they have this up. So no climbing, but they got stairs going up. What are the chances of that? So I'm going to leave it here. I think with the Cedar Heights video, the Manitou Spring Cliff Dwelling, and this short video, hopefully you understand the magnitude of everything and the implication of the lies on so much of this world. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.